Can anyone hear me? Okay, good morning, everyone. So I would like to tell you a story, and that story is going to be about health innovation and design and how it's an evolving product of design thinking and engagement. And I'm going to start at the beginning with my story. Once upon a time, in a far-off place called biomedical engineering, an HOD wanted to create a program that allowed all disciplines to work together on innovations for health in a more holistic manner while trying to address the broader burden of disease of South Africa. So that was the idea. Why did we need to do this? Well, we wanted to train students to identify opportunities for intervention that address health and wellness problems, and also to be able to design and implement and evaluate health and wellness innovations. And what we did was we created a health innovation program within the biomedical engineering department. And that allowed people from different backgrounds, anyone with a 4-year degree, to be able to work in this health space. And we also try to promote that innovation is a methodology that can be learned, not just something that happens serendipitously. We have now an MPhil in health innovation, which started in 2016. And the anchor course to that is health innovation and design, which started in 2015. And the research methodology that we use to create innovations is design thinking, which is always done in conjunction with community partner. Now, design thinking, and how it applies to health innovation, is a human-centered approach. It's research-based to design challenges, and it also takes a contextual view. It examines the system as well as the context, which is something that we found lacking in the innovations that we developed. We also wanted to make learning more real and relevant, and design thinking really develops critical thinking skills. But just to drive the point, why we use design thinking as a research methodology? Design thinking looks at innovations from 3 different aspects: the desirability, technical feasibility, as well as business viability. And in this course, design thinking really tries to drive home desirability. We don't want to start off with thinking, what technology do we have, and then apply that to a particular market or challenge, or how can we make the most money and then look for a market. We want to integrate these 3 themes, and where those overlap is where we hopefully will find good innovation. But we want to start with desirability. I just want to take you through the design thinking process, and it basically goes through these phases. We always start off with an understand phase, and as you can see on the top there, that is where students unpack what they think about the challenge. You'll see these pictures come from the 2018 cohort, and they were looking at medication adherence in the elderly. So they first looked at what does medication adherence in the elderly mean to them, and they unpacked that. And then once the group had an understanding of that, they went to observe. And what does observe mean? They either do observations or immersions, or, and this is at the bottom here, is where they conducted their qualitative interviews. And that's Kathy at the neighborhood old age home, which was a community partner. They then take that information back and they unpack. So our classroom looks like this: post-its, whiteboards, and they're creating the content as they're going. They then define the challenge based on information that they've discovered. They create a new point of view. They then ideate, come up with a new solution, come up with new ideas, and they really just try and get quantity out. They prototype, and you can see how they're holding up a cardboard, and this is really low fidelity prototypes, just something that they can take back to the person that they interviewed and find out, does this idea actually solve any of your problems? And this picture here is when they did their final presentation, and they tested their, they did a presentation back to the people that they interviewed. And the interesting, so that's basically what we try and do in our course. But what happened in 2015 as well was Dinashe Mutsanga, my colleague, went on the first Engaged Scholarship program. And we realized that design thinking and health innovation really embodies engaged scholarship, because we are using our scholarly expertise with an intentional public benefit with a non-academic constituency. And we really tried to develop the engaged scholarship part of our program because we realized there's good and bad ways to do engaged scholarship. This is just an example of last year's 2017 group, where we went from a challenge that had a reframed problem, and the idea that they came up with to support sign language interpretation for deaf patients was video calling, was accessing sign language interpreters through video calling. I won't go through too much of that. That was a very interesting case. What I really want to get to is the development of projects over the past 3.5 years. In 2015, we started off with 2 projects per semester, and in the second semester of 2015, we started with our first project with Neighborhood Old Age Home, and that was brokered through the Knowledge Co-op. In the second semester, we had management of chronic disease medications. That project partner was a private doctor, as well as that research was done at the diabetic clinic. And then the second semester, we did nutritional anemia in the elderly, also with NOAA, but that was at the Khayelitsha Senior Center. As you can see, 2017 and 2018, we only had 1 project. And I'll get to the reasons later. In 2015 and 2016, we used the design thinking methodology related to co-create, which focused more on 4 phases. But then in 2016, UCT had its own D school, Hasselplattner School of Design Thinking. And that's the method that we are currently using 2017 and 2018. And this training was invaluable, where we focused more on time boxing and rapid iterations. But we found an ethical dilemma. Because if we were going to do design thinking as close to how we were trained, we wouldn't have been able to go according to our human ethics, because sometimes a new user or a stakeholder will come up, but that wasn't stipulated at the start when we did our ethics. And it's something that we really that we've been grappling with, because if we add in a new stakeholder, we need amendment for that. So this kind of summarizes the changes that we've gone through. We went from 2 projects to 1 project per year, which allowed us to attempt to implement and get a deeper engagement. And with the tightening of the method, we then had more iterations, had more feedback, and we could go back to our stakeholders more often, even though our students sometimes didn't like that. From a teaching practice, our main assessment is group presentation back to our users and quite a detailed individual report. And we've really gone through various learning logs, writing assignments, exams, because how do you actually assess something like this? It's really been a challenge for us, and we've tried this in various forms, sometimes success, sometimes not. But what we have had is students have an appreciation of empathy, and I think I could relate to the previous talk a lot about students learning in like this action learning environment. They have a user's perspective, they are aware of the assumptions now, and they really do appreciate that this is a real project and they get to interact with real people. And for further development, we need to build in more reflection activities. And what we found is that the understanding of the design thinking approach varies from student to student. And I think I saw the word signpost in Marissa's talk as well. We need to signpost the learnings in each phase, because sometimes they're going through all the phases and doing what they're supposed to, but not really realizing and taking in all the different things that they're learning along the way. And we have to think about maybe adding in more assessments. So there's a need to balance the academic requirements of this course, as well as the responsibility of it towards partners from the engaged scholarship point of view, and also to make sure that the student experience is something that it's not too far off from the usual student experience, because they grapple with that. And with more benefit to our project partners by making sure that we get to an implementation phase. I think our next steps is how do we improve engagement? At which steps along the way do we improve the engagement, but still maintaining the excellence in the design thinking process? That's why I say keeping that dynamic nature of design thinking. Perhaps we need to think about improving assessment, and then also how do we implement that solutions to create impact for our community partners. Thank you so much.
Is there anyone with questions?
Teresa.
Thank you. That was a really good presentation.
Thank you.
So I want to ask, are the people they're designing for, are they involved in any way in the evaluation and assessment of the students?
That will contribute to their marks? No. But we do have an external examiner that is present when they do their final presentation to the examiners. So they don't give a mark. So what we do have is Sharif and Danae they were community engagement postdocs, and Sharif is doing measurement of stakeholder engagement, and Danae is now going back and actually interviewing the people that were interviewed and how they felt the engagement was. So we had someone separate to do that.
Consideration the asset-based thinking, because we cannot just
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I think it lacks a bit of the asset-based approach.
The
Asset-based.
asset-based approach. Oh,
So to view people as having assets, even,
oh yes,
even
yes.
if they are sick, but they do have assets.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So I think that's why we're hoping that maybe, so when the designing approach is like just asking for feedback, and that maybe that's something that we need to look at instead of just what do you think about this idea that I came up with, and maybe thinking about how to change that a little bit. And I think when that leans towards the co-create method a bit more. So maybe we need to be fluid with our method a bit, but that becomes tricky as well.